Howdy folks, my name is ReadyOpco, and welcome back to part number 10 of Let's Play Super Mario 64. In the last part we took on course number 6, Hazy Maze Cave, and here we're going to be taking on course number 7, Lethal Lava Land. That's a name I gotta say slowly, lest I stumble all over it. We've got Boyle the Big Bully. Now I remembered this being so super tricky when I was little. Don't be a pushover. If anyone tries to shove you around, push back. It's one-on-one with a fiery finish for the loser. So as you can see, this place is totally covered in lethal lava. Makes things a little spicy, if you would. And of course, my very first attempt to try and even sort of fight one. These guys are bullies, and true to their name, they are bullies. And same for the name of this level. That was very lethal. What an embarrassing showing. 1 minute in and I'm already dying. I didn't even manage to make it all the way to the actual point of this level, which is the Big Bully. That is terribly embarrassing. So, the thing with these bullies is you can't beat them by jumping on them, and you can't pick them up like you would normal bob-ombs, which they are shaped very similarly to. The only way to defeat them is by knocking them into the lava with your punches and kicks. So they are a little bit of a tough enemy, honestly. I always had trouble actually defeating the bullies. And these platforms are very perilous. The lava closes in on them and then goes back out like so. And I'm really terrible at these jumps. Let's try and conserve as many coins as we can. Let's see if we can't bully these bullies here. Oh no. Alright, so the optimal method, you can do one of two things. Ground pounds work pretty well. Same method as the boos. Let them close in on you and then let them eat a tasty bit of Mario's booty. I shouldn't actually say that. Some people might enjoy that sort of thing. Oh, goodness. So you can either use ground pounds, you can punch them as usual if your timing is good enough, although mine never seems to be. I always seem to be the one that gets knocked away first. Especially when there ends up being two of them and they stagger their inputs like that. Let's see if I can get this guy off to the side and make things a little easier, but the optimal method, I think, is being able to jump and kick them with the jump kick there. Or perhaps that's something that actually only works on the Big Bully. Either way, I'm really terrible at fighting these guys, if you couldn't tell. I'm really excruciatingly bad at it. Use a dive to beat that one. And now that there's only one, it's going to make things significantly easier. Use a jump kick, take down the last one, and our reward, Big Ol' Bully, who knocks us pretty intimidatingly if we let him, and he's a little bit quicker than regular bullies to recover. And this guy is where the jump kicks become super optimal. That was so much easier than taking down the three little ones. And our reward is the first power star. Easy as that. Now we can move on to star number 1? Oh dear, apparently I have goofed, guys. I wasn't expecting to make one of those kinds of errors in this series. I thought I knew every star location like the back of my hand. However, as evidenced by that select screen, I have somehow misordered the power stars in this stage. That is really funny. I mean, it's like, I'm not laughing because I feel pretty dumb for making such a mistake. And I had the thought too. I was like, wait, isn't this the one that's supposed to come later? And then you're, oh man, I can't believe that I made such a mistake like that. Well, either way, this video will contain all 7 of the power stars for this stage regardless. So I imagine it's not that big of an issue. It'll just be a little silly for the ordering and the chapter titles. Yeah, I can't believe that I made that mistake. 8-coin puzzle with 15 pieces, star number 3. So we're actually going to be deviating from the norm here and not collecting the 100-coin star with the 8 red coins. There's a number of reasons for this. Well, I guess only really 2 reasons. So the first reason is that I actually don't think that there are 100 coins out here in the overworld for Lethal Lava Land without either having access to an item that does not spawn in this edition of the stage. There are slight variances in each stage depending on which star you select, and that can change your abilities to navigate throughout the level. So I don't think there's 100 coins here, so we wouldn't be able to collect that star and this one in the same run anyhow. So just get the easy 8 red coins, and we will be back for them during the 100 coin star as well, just won't be collecting this star at the same time.
Here we go!
Hopping back in, we've got star number 4, Red Hot Log Rolling.
Let's go!
So this star can be tricky for a number of reasons. However, if you look directly behind you when you spawn in, there turns out to be a wing cap block over here. This can make our trip to the star that we're going to be trying to collect a lot easier than otherwise. Assuming that I can actually fly properly though. So this makes navigating the stage just a tiny bit easier. You can fly over all of the lava. And I'm going to try and get over to this platform here, which is going to hopefully take us over. Avoid the center here so that we can not get hit by the jet of flame. And right over in this portion of the stage, hopefully not get hit by any of these, we've got a red hot log. However, if you can do a good enough triple jump, can you triple jump up this? There we go. There's one right there. Just simply fly over to the star. It's a lot easier than trying to manipulate the log. Hot-foot it into the volcano. That's a funny phrasing.
Let's go!
But I guess we shall indeed be hot-footing it into the volcano. I think I decided that I'm going to save the 100 coins for last, because I think in order to get it, you need to go into the volcano, and it's not really convenient to grab that star in any other one except for maybe the last one? I'm not 100% sure, but if we hop right on in here, we get taken inside of the volcano, and this is actually interesting. I think this is the first instance of a level having like a sub-area inside it, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, I guess Cool Pool Mountain had the slide within it. Jolly Roger Bay had the ship as well, so I'm just not thinking very well, but this is a really cool sub-level that really stands out to me, I think is what it is. I really like the colors of the ground in here, and I also think that I went through here dozens of times trying to get this star over here. For whatever reason, yeah, it was these poles. It was these poles, and this was the hardest part. You can run up all the way and then get totally stuck on jumping the poles. It trips me up almost every time. Thank goodness I didn't get smashed by that. I just bounced off the side in a goofy way. Let's not get smashed by that whatsoever. For whatever reason, that thing kind of reminds me of, I think there's similar obstacles in Yoshi's Island. I'm dead. No, I'm not. No, I am not. I'm not dead. I can survive. I can still beat this level if I'm good enough. Just gotta be good enough. Yeah, that obstacle really reminds me of a similar obstacle that is in Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. I love that game for what it's worth. Great game if you don't 100% it. Thankfully, I don't feel similarly about this game. I think it's actually really enjoyable to get all of the stars in every single stage, despite the fact that you don't need to get an entire 50 of them in total, which is kind of ridiculous to me. I mean, they could have made it a little... I guess they didn't need to make it any harder than they already did, truly. Okay. One last one. I think this actually might be the 6th star in the stage. Let's see. The lava dealing 3 damage is damaging my soul. Elevator tour in the volcano is star number 6, and I'm trying to mix this in with the 100 coin star to the best of my abilities, but every single time that I try to get 100 coins, I get to about 80 and then fail. First off, we're going to grab the Koopa Shell over here that does not spawn in the first couple versions of this stage, so gotta do one of the later ones if you want to be able to surf on the lava like a cool guy. And using this Koopa Shell, we're going to be collecting as many coins as possible before losing it eventually. Oh wow, that was interesting. I'm glad I didn't lose my shell though. I was very, very close to losing it. See if we can not crash into any enemies or obstacles in our path, as that will cause the shell to explode spontaneously, probably stranding us in the lava if it's anything like my previous attempts. Oh, come on. It's very, very tricky to control the shell. It's a lot faster movement than you are used to with all of the other movement in the game. Alrighty. Slide on up here. I have no idea how the shell manages to make it up those particular obstacles, but I'm not really complaining. I think fire makes me lose it. You know what? That's okay. I don't think I managed to collect the one string of coins that I failed to collect last time that was putting me off. So, hopefully this can still manage to be a successful 100 coin run. Otherwise, I'm not 100% sure what I'm gonna do. Probably cry a lot. Probably shed so many tears that I drown in them. Wow, okay, that's sounding super overdramatic now that I'm putting it like that. Come on. But seriously, it's these 100 coin runs end up being so rough because I don't want to do the thing. I could do the thing where I speed it up and put music over it. However, that's a really good way to get copyright claims on your video. And part of me, when I see other people do that, I can't help but feel. Not that it's lazy, because I totally understand the use of speeding up footage and putting music over it, especially if you can't come up with anything in particular to say. But then I think that's kind of the point of doing the Let's Play, You're supposed to be coming up with things to say the entire time. It's driving your creative energy to be able to come up with topics. It's actually, I'm finding it really helpful recording these videos. It's helping me in my real-life interactions with people, just because it makes me a little bit quicker when I'm trying to think of things to say. I find that that's an issue, especially if you have anxiety like me. You have a rough time trying to come up with things to say when you're talking to other people, especially when you're overthinking it. However, doing Let's Playing really, really helps me to slow down, breathe, think about what I'm actually saying, and not just say the very first thing that comes to mind. That's something that I've had some people tell me before, is that a lot of the time I try to think before I talk, I don't just shout things out first thing that comes to mind. And I really think that this is helpful for cultivating that kind of thoughtful talking, communicating to other people. At least I would hope so. Alrighty, I think our last 11 coins should be pretty easy to collect from the inside of the volcano here. There's quite a few on this path up to the original star, and then we can take a slight deviation and start on the elevator, as a matter of fact. Do a super good long jump there. I'm going to take a little bit of damage, but I can collect the star right afterwards, so I'm a-okay with that. I wonder if it'll still heal me. Nope, apparently it's the actual cutscene after collecting a star that lets you heal, not the act of collecting the star itself, which makes sense. It happens when you get kicked back out of the painting at the end of the level. Not that you guys have seen that too many times in particular, or at least I've tried to keep it down as much as possible with the talking. And actually really fun. Wow, that was a voice crack. What I find is that having those little interludes between every single star actually also helps me to, like I said, recollect or not recollect. I actually can't think of the particular word. That's really funny. It helps me consider what the next level is going to be. I just think the breather is actually really helpful in the middle of the episode, not having to go 100% the entire time. And look at that, guys! Looks like we've completed our 7th course. I cannot believe that. That's a little bit less than halfway into the game. We're only a couple stars away, actually. Wow! Only 2 away from 60, actually, halfway in. That's really, really exciting, guys. I'm amazed with the progress I've been able to make and really happy with it. I hope you guys are enjoying everything so far as much as I have been. So my name is Ready Apko. I hope you guys will be staying tuned for part number 11 of Let's Play Super Mario 64. I will be seeing you then.